Alright, we motherfucking on. What the fuck's up? It's your boy Marco from Upside Down Studios. And we got motherfucking Vinyl Dick.
What's happening, everybody?
And Greg here, as always.
What up?
You know, we out here kicking it tonight. It's What the Fuck Wednesday. And we are, yeah, it is a What the Fuck Wednesday. Oh my God. We kind of, we're a little bit restricted tonight in the studios. So there will be frequent breaks because we are.
He said frequent breaks.
Yeah, because we're chain smokers.
Union break.
And you know we can't smoke in the studio right now. So you know, if we just say, you know, we're gonna take a minute, it might be very frequently, but we gonna take a minute. So enjoy the motherfucking music that we got on. So what we got? We don't have anything coming up, do we? We got that murder mystery thing that should be on our Facebook page and on All About the Pause. Or, yeah, the shelters. See, got me fuckered up. Can't keep looking at my cigarettes. All right. So yeah. Shout out to the little yellow bus, wax liquidizer, or not wax, honey liquidizer. honey liquidizer. Shout out to that motherfucker right there. And this stereotype, I just, you know, have a couple shows that they kicked ass at, so shout out to them too. What else we got? We got that autism thing, but that's next month. That's about it. You got anything, Greg?
Nope.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the only thing I got coming up is what you already said, so the autism show. That's it right now. Well, tonight you got Paul Goon down at the the Turbos at the West Side Bowl. They were one of the bands that was at the New Year's Festival. And then this Friday, Paul Goon is going to be down at Wickyards, so go check him out too.
At the Brickyard?
Wickyards.
Wickyard.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Wickyard?
It's I haven't been there, but I heard it's pretty nice. It ain't a big place or nothing, you know what I mean? But for what they're doing, it's just a couple rappers getting together and putting on a show. So
I'm gonna have to stop in on that.
Yeah, check it out.
Is Scotty doing the show Friday?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, fuck.
Yep.
Well, I might have to go down there and check it out.
Bo show.
Yeah. So, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I can't really ask Ricky because he's younger. But please correct me if I'm wrong. When we were growing up, the white kids that identified as black kids were called wiggers, correct?
Yeah, you were called it once.
I was called it a few times, quite a few times.
Well, I meant at one time.
Yeah. So now, I guess schools are letting white kids and black kids, I guess whatever color, but they made it a point to say white kids, identify as black kids at school.
So now there's no more minority.
I guess, but I mean, not only that, I'm looking at it this way. I mean, although I think it's fucking ridiculous. But if this shit goes through, nobody could claim white privilege. Nobody could claim black racism. Nobody could claim any of that shit.
Well, couldn't I identify as a black man and claim some fucking reparations?
Well, see, you know how I feel about that whole reparations bullshit.
Absolutely.
But
is that just gonna be? Is this just gonna be the start of a whole bunch of bullshit?
It started with the motherfucking the transgenders. That's what it started with,
This
man.
cat just said transgender.
You know, and look, man, I'm not the one to judge. You know, what you do on your own time is what you do on your own time. I've been in some fucked up situations. I know shit gets kind of out of hand sometimes. But at the end of the day, you woke up with a dick. And, you know, if you were born, I can't even say you woke up with a dick, because a lot of them, you know, they had that surgery and shit. But you was born with a dick. So I'm sorry, you're a dude. You know, what you do on your own time, you know, if you want to pretend that you're a female or whatever.
Your
cool.
DNA's still not going to lie.
There's Asians out there, and there's Americans now, you know, dressing up as animals and chipmunks and shit and fucking each other. You know, that's their thing, that's their thing. You know,
been to fucking
but at the end of the
Burning
day, you's a motherfucking human. You's a dude. You know, hey, just because you're taking it in the ass don't mean you still don't have a dick. So, you know, I got nothing against transgenders, but, you know, this whole identify with this and that and all this other bullshit, I mean, come the fuck on. You know, you got your own bathroom, go to the fucking bathroom, you're gonna get funny looks in the fucking guy's bathroom, but hey, that's what you get for fucking wearing a dress. What the fuck? You know, I wore a dress into a guy's bathroom, you know, hey, I got hit on by plenty of guys. What the fuck? Yeah, it was Halloween. Shit. I'm a sexy bitch, dude. Or at least I used to be back in the day. Now I'm a cougar.
You are unicorns and glitter.
I fart unicorns and glitter.
I
I actually got a unicorn head in my band.
feel
right
like
now.
you need a unicorn tattoo.
That would only work with Deadpool riding it.
You can make that work.
I'm not. It's like a football team or a girlfriend's fucking name. You know,
But it's a unicorn.
that tattoo's gonna last forever. Them other things might not. Yeah, it's a unicorn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been around for what, like 3,000 years, so they ain't going anywhere. Nobody hates a unicorn, bro.
Very true.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of these fucking whack jobs trying to tie in the new unicorn
I've seen
shits to
that horse
satanic
fucking thing.
shit.
Oh,
No, they're trying to tie it into the whole satanic and this other bullshit.
you seen them digging up like the unicorn thing, the unicorn dinosaur?
No.
Yeah, it looks like more like a horse type deal, a little hairy, furry, but like a little smaller than a rhino horn. Like it's pretty much a fucking unicorn.
A rhino is pretty much a unicorn.
True.
You know,
enough.
that's just the thick girl of the unicorn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the thick girl of the unicorns.
True enough.
But yeah, you know, so I guess you won't be called a wigger anymore if you identify as a black kid. But then wait a minute, wouldn't that make all last year's arguments invalid? Like the ones where the little white girl couldn't wear the Manoa or Monomom or whatever the fuck that Disney girl's fucking outfit was because she was an islander and that would be racist.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that cancel that out?
You think it's probably be brought back up?
I mean, it's the same fucking dumb fucks trying to push the shit through. So I mean, what up, BG? My dude, BG, listening. So yeah, I mean, I don't fucking know, dude. They found, and this was like some shit that was totally a side note, like, cause they got all this shit. Oh, they found this in Antarctica, and they found that in Antarctica. I was actually looking up different megalithic sites and shit that they found, and one site popped up in Antarctica. It had nothing to do with the pyramids that supposedly were found, or the towers or whatever underground.
What'd they find then?
This is some weird I mean, it almost looks like the shit they find in Peru or in South America or whatever.
Just like a temple type deal?
It's more of a dug out type, almost like a, I don't know what you call it, a village, city, whatever the fuck. But in there, they found the elongated skulls.
Makes sense.
The same ones that are from Peru and all that shit, like the so-called alien skulls. Pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And you know that, who the fuck was it? That Jaime some shit. He's the Mexican ufologist.
Yeah.
All right, he had that. Him and that David Greer guy.
Yeah.
Had that one little skeleton or whatever, and they made this big fucking deal about it getting tested, and it had a lot of human DNA, but there was one part that was something else, and they couldn't tell what it was. So pretty much they found nothing. There was another very similar skeleton. Now, I don't know if they doctored the skeleton just for the show, and I've seen the video of the real one, or there is another one. It's a lot more fucked up looking, but it's more intact.
Huh.
And they didn't know what the fuck that motherfucker was.
Where'd they get that from?
I want to say around the same area, maybe. Like Peru-ish, somewhere around there. So, I don't know. They try to, the people who tried to debunk it, try to say it was a dead fetus. Like almost like an aborted fetus or whatever. But this, well, it was aborted when it was 6. It was, this thing was tiny, but it wasn't all like that.
Yeah.
So, man, that's, I don't know about all that shit. I don't know how we got the dead Peruvian baby fetuses from identifying as a black dude, but
that's how it works.
yeah, it happened. So what was in the next topic? We did the black kids and the white kids, and the kids that goes into the parents thing. Did you by chance, any of you guys, see the fucking new, I don't know if it was an interview or if she was on some kind of show, Michelle, whatever the fuck you want to call her, Obama, talking about when her husband was president?
No.
This dude had the nerve to say that when Barack Obama was president, he was like the good parent. He was the one that made you eat your vegetables. He was the one that made you do your homework. He was the one that made you go to school. And right now, we're with the other parent, and we're eating too much candy. So, this one, I think it was a Gutfield, one of the newscasters. It was a chick. Who gives a fuck? Point is, she was kind of commentating on it, and she was like, well, what's the candy? More jobs? More, more infrastructure getting done, all this other, the economy's doing great. So what is that the candy? Because if that's the candy, then they showed fucking, who's the gay black dude with all the mob dudes? What the fuck? Anyways, he was singing Candyman, walking down. Who makes sunshine? And then they put Trump's head on top of it. So, I mean, if Trump's the shitty parent and we got all this candy, so-called candy, and this goodness is, then maybe the other parent needs to go to parenting school or something.
Huh.
Crazy shit. So, we hit 2 of the main subjects, and now we only been on for 12 minutes, see? Wow, cigarette addiction is a motherfucker.
15.
Nah, gotta at least do a half hour before we have a cigarette.
Yeah. Damn.
So,
What else you got?
all kind of shit. I'm trying to stay more on the wall right at the moment. Yo, we go off the wall shit. But how about what the fuck was that? There, Dulce base.
Yeah. Okay.
So for people who don't know what the Dulce base is, look at the fuck up. It's fucked up. But supposedly in New Mexico, there is this military. It isn't even our military. It's a military base there / laboratory. The first, well, at the time, because this was early '90s when the story broke. There was, I think, maybe only 13 levels.
Yeah, something like that.
But they were expanding on it.
Right.
There was one guy who was touring the UFO syndicate, telling this story. He was a contractor. He ended up dead.
The big white dude,
Yeah.
Andrew some. They finally.
They,
Did you hear about his attempted suicide stories? Or it's not suicide, but attempted murder stories? He was having visions that he was giving the speech the next day, and somebody was going to try to kill him.
Dude. No.
And it happened the next day, and it's one of those, he just, like, did something different.
Well,
and
see, he actually disappeared. You know,
Really?
they called it a suicide, but I don't think they ever found his body.
I don't know about
The
that.
dude who got his fingers
Melted
cut
off, yeah.
and his toes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there was a couple other people who ended up missing.
But he was like an advocate for what the fuck's going on down
Yeah.
here.
Supposedly there was a little civil war down there at the Dulce base that the Americans lost.
Say, like, humans don't go to the 7th floor, so they went to the 7th floor, and the aliens didn't like that.
Well, from the research that I came across,
Yeah.
it was more of, I forget who the president was at the time. It might have been Eisenhower. He wanted to know what the fuck was going on in there.
How long has Dolce been there?
Long time.
Like, Roswell shit? Because Roswell is only like 2 miles or a couple miles from Dolce.
Roswell is,
And then
man, there was shit going on
You
way
also,
before Roswell.
true enough, but I'm saying in that location you have Dolce, Roswell, and
There's S4 and Groom Lake.
And Groom Lake.
There's also Los Alamos.
Yeah, they're all right there.
Right by Vegas. But this whole Civil War thing that went on, it was supposedly aliens against our military, and they were fucking us up, and they came up with this, and this is real. Like, you can look this shit up. The Greada Treaty.
Oh, yeah.
The
I know.
Greada Treaty is, this cocksucker basically said that you guys could abduct or take as many people as you want, or not as many people as you want, so many people a year,
Yeah.
and experiment and do whatever with them, but you have to put them back.
Really?
Yeah, you have to put them back. And in exchange for that,
Technology.
we would get
or
technology and
information.
shit.
Yeah.
Now, apparently they weren't keeping up their end of the deal or whatever over the years. So I'm assuming that's the shit that's going on maybe now, or...
So if they're putting people back, is that where these, like, side hybrids and shit are coming from?
Well, I hear, like, from different shit, not necessarily from Dolce,
Yeah.
but just from abduction shit. Like, a lot of the men who they either have this alien, or make the person think that they're having sex with a beautiful woman when they're really fucking this alien.
Yeah.
And, taking their sperm and making hybrids of them. And of the women, they're taking the eggs. And certain ones, they actually seduce the women and have sex with them, and then they come and take that shit. Like,
Yeah. I'm
be-
pregnant. No, I'm not pregnant.
Yeah, apparently, like, their gestation is a lot quicker.
Yeah. They don't, or they
So-
just need it just for whatever, a week incubation, then just take it.
Right, some shit like that. But I don't know about all that. There's a lot of sketchiness. There's a lot of stories that are similar, though, from people that totally not involved with each other. But apparently, after you get past the 7th floor, it's all alien shit. And there's a lot of... The only way I could even explain it is Hitler-esque. Now, I can't even say Hitler, Himmler.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck this. You know, there's a lot of... Like, the one whistleblower, if you want to call him that, said that there was a guy there with 6 legs. They are trying to make people with wings. Mixing animals and people, mixing animals and animals, mixing alien. And all these people are in, like, almost like a zoo type thing. Or a kennel.
You know what's fucking crazy about that is if they continue to do this, like you said, with Himmler, how much fucking medical advances we have today because of that piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's just that they get to do that. They do that and make fucking breakthroughs. Right?
Well, see, that's the bad thing, though. If the humans were getting some of that breakthrough, but this is supposedly the aliens doing this shit.
But then that's still gonna bleed into you just dumping. You're just mixing in with the population. So, I mean...
Well, see, now, that goes into how many times over these decades has this thing's been there? And I'm sure that security wasn't as good as it is now.
No.
Has these hybrids or these things that they're creating got out? You know, you think maybe that's where you get your legends of your swamp skunks and your... Or is that the skunk, swamp skunk, whatever the fuck? It's like a Sasquatch in the swamp of Florida.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. And then
it's a swamp critter.
Yeah, and all these other different.
Well, see, my thinking on that is that might be more like a couple thousand years ago, or however long ago when aliens were just doing this shit on them by themselves without the government's help, just them picking up animals and shit and just doing their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it could quite possibly be, you know, shit escaping from there, just like shit escaping from, what is that, Plum Island? Is it Plum Island? Where the ticks came from. Where the fuck? I think it's Plum Island. There is a testing. They kind of hinted onto it in one of the X-Men movies. What's up, Tracy? Like that island where they were doing experiments on the kids in the Wolverine movie.
Okay.
Well, there's the Plum Island. It's a big fucking lab, and or is it Martok? The Montauk Island?
That's a Montauk monster and shit.
That came from the island I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It floated across. Just like the ticks, they figured they were doing experiments with ticks in Lyme disease, and these fuckers made it across. Almost like the monkeys did for the original King Kong. There's a whole island where they filmed the original black and white King Kong.
Did you see that video that's going around on Facebook of people by some island with these like weird monkey people standing up, like a whole group of them in the water? They weren't that, like, there was good video of it. Like, it's legit video.
Monkey people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah, I ain't seen the monkey people.
See if I can pull it up.
Yeah, monkey people.
It's a good video. Like, the quality is, like, it's legit.
Well, I mean, it's not like that dude we were talking about with the Bigfoot hand that's magnetic, is it?
No, but that's definitely real. I mean, you want to cut off my hand, say you have a Bigfoot hand? You try to sell it?
Depends on what they're paying.
I don't know.
You know, I don't think I could do any jihad type shit, though. Dude, I watched a fucking... I don't know if it was... I don't think it was the Sand People. I think it was some kind of Latino people something. I don't know what this dude did, but they obviously pissed off the wrong motherfucker, or he pissed off the wrong motherfucker while he was still alive. He, this one dude, he had bandana around his face. And I mean, it wasn't even a machete. It was like, maybe like Rambo's, maybe a little bit bigger than a Rambo type knife. Cut off this dude's hands.
That video?
Did I show it to you? They
yeah,
cut off his
the dude
leg.
took it like a champ.
No. This dude was... There was no taking shit like a champ. They
There's
left that motherfucker as a stump and then cut his head off.
Oh, I don't know.
And it was graphic as fuck. I was like, oh!
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, so,
Well, I found this video. Check it out here during the break.
Is that the monkey people?
Yeah. It says Ewok-like trolls on Thai Island solved. So I'll see what this video is about.
Thai Island?
Yeah.
Is that the one where they filmed the original King Kong?
I don't know.
Because the black and white King Kong, they brought spider monkeys or some kind of monkey over there, like 2 of them, and left them there, and they kept breeding.
That's a terrible idea.
And them fuckers all, like, they started figuring out a way to come across the water.
Yeah, they have thumbs. They're capable of doing shit. It's pretty weird.
Yeah, so they're showing the chick in the water.
There's like a couple boats of people, and I guess there's a story that goes back with it.
Those baboons?
They don't know.
The baboons?
What, blonde?
Baboon eyes?
Yeah, but they're like
Baboon
blondish
eyes
and
sauce.
no blue ass or anything. Like, baboons are like red, aren't they?
No, baboons are gray and they got
Are they?
blue noses and, well, I mean, cartoon types. I don't know. I've never seen fucking baboon live.
You ain't never been to a zoo?
Yeah, but, you know, you focus on red ass when you're at the zoo. Like, did they give a close-up of him?
Not really. Kura. It had a name of the island.
Caribou Island?
Almost.
Dude, did you see, there's like a gigantic fucking something in the air over Texas?
No, but
It's actually as we speak, you know, because when I was watching the video, it was, I think it was live on third phase of moon, and you could see it, like you could see the clouds, and it kind of like almost like predators the clouds, and there's some over Texas, and I'm wondering if that got something to do with that whole Dolce-based shit too. They're saying that the whole Trump fucking Space Force shit is actually fake, and they were just trying to funnel money into like military to be able to take on this shit that's going on down in New Mexico. And then they're like trying to funnel other, like, I guess,
wait a minute. Say that again?
in that video we were
Yeah,
watching,
yeah, yeah.
I watched more of it.
You're trying to funnel money towards Mexico?
And the money that is supposed to be for training and supplies and all that for the new Space Force
Oh, yeah.
is actually being funneled into the military for prep work, underground fucking like shit.
Yeah.
Military shit. And that the whole Space Force thing is fake. So, who knows? I mean, we start seeing shit popping off in New Mexico, we'll know. And I'm sure some kind of aliens will be bleeding out. Not all of them are going to want to fight. They're doctors. And then what, you know, if that whole fucking place gets sacked and it's chaos, what about all the experiments? Now, you may be able to catch, like, you know, a 3-headed dog or a guy with 6 legs, but what happens to that that fucking mosquito that's carrying some alien DNA.
What about the
and
velociraptors?
well, I'm talking about small scale. Something on a small scale like that could cause a pandemic of, like, that could take out the fucking world.
They could probably just inoculate some person, cover him in mosquitoes, and just let those mosquitoes go, and it'd be over.
Dude, they could just.
But see, I feel like something
let
like
the
that.
skeeters go.
I feel like
that's
unless
how malaria gets spread.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the ticks. They were experimenting with ticks to find a natural and simple biological carrier to, like, carry biological weapons.
Huh.
So, like, you get ticks and you give them AIDS. Well, the tick is immune to that shit.
Yeah, so
and it carries the blood in its system, and then it burrows into its next parasite.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't think about that shit.
How do you think Lyme disease? Was that fucking? They got its name because that's where they landed when they came across the water, in Lyme, whatever county.
Huh.
Yeah. And that shit ain't no joke. My buddy got Lyme. You don't. It's like fucking herpes.
Yeah.
You catch that shit, it don't go away. It stays in your system.
Damn.
All right, so we ready for a break?
Yep.
Sure.
All right.
So we're gonna take a little something, listen to the riff, and we be back.
you ready?
All right, we're fucking back. Oh, that cigarette break was not long enough. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Ugh, look, I'm fucking rolling backwards on the rollaway chair.
Gravity.
Terrible. All right, so how you like the whole immigration shit that Trump pulled? Y'all even know what the fuck he did?
Nope.
Well, since they want to keep giving him shit about his immigration laws and about his policies or whatever, and nothing's really getting passed because they want to give it a stalemate, he said, okay, well, if you guys want to keep these illegal sanctuary cities and you guys want to have open arms to all these illegals, we're going to dump them off into your sanctuary cities. Now, they are having a fucking fit. Nancy Pelosi, the one who, the big fucking, open arms and this and that, her and Beto. Beto tried to say this was Hitler-esque and he's fucking ignorant, there's all kind of shit. Robert Francis needs to go home. And Pelosi better watch out because her old ass is about to have a damn stroke, and the way shit's going, they're gonna vote that dumbass AOC in the fucking Speaker of the House. And oh, jeez. We'll be riding like the Amish should be high tech. Yeah, that'd be terrible. But yeah, I thought it was. I mean, it makes sense. You guys want them in your fucking city, or you want to put sanctuary cities and shit? Well, there you go. We're gonna put the sanctuary cities to use. Now, instead of maybe 5 people in your sanctuary city, you got 500. Deal with it.
Yeah.
It only seems fair. I think it's some bullshit. So, you find anything out about the ripples on the moon, or is all that shit gone?
No, I haven't looked into that.
They're far and few now. I mean, the videos, I guess. Let's see. Oh, now they're after Mueller because there's redacted parts. See, they're even going after their own people. Come the fuck on, man. I mean, Jesus Christ. These Congress people, especially that Nadler dude, I don't even know where the fuck he popped up from. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's the one who's pushing for all this horse shit on Trump now.
They're just pissed because they know he's gonna win the next election.
Well, it just doesn't make sense to me, dude. I mean, they're just fucking acting. This is just all a big fucking act, dude. If you read the law, I mean, even the AG, Bill Barr, the Attorney General, he is the highest cop of the fucking land. Whom all the Democrats said, oh, no, he's good, he's a straight shooter, this and that, because he was all buddy-buddy with Mueller, whatever the fuck his name is. And they also said Mueller was all, they appointed Mueller. We had this discussion way in the beginning. So now Mueller's an idiot and Barr's Trump's boy. Barr himself told the Democrats and the Republicans in his Senate hearing before the redacted version of whatever the fuck came out, that by law, he cannot let out certain parts, that are in this shit because it doesn't involve anything. It might involve other people or people who there's still ongoing investigations on or shit like that. But they're making it look like, oh, they're hiding something. Even the president said that he wanted it all to come out.
Yeah.
And then he got stopped by Barr and said, no, there has to be redactions.
Oh, come on now.
And now they're saying the president is changing his tune. On top of that, this was kind of leading into this. The whole Julian Assange thing, you see that? He's arrested. He's in custody.
For what?
He had all kind of shit. Bail jumping was what they arrested him for. I guess Ecuador. He was in Ecuador. No.
Okay.
No. Let's just get this straight though, because WikiLeaks and Julian Assange was supposedly in Russia, but he's been at the Ecuadorian consulate or whatever. He's sought asylum there.
Yeah.
He's been there for God knows how long. To the point where he has a big Muslim-looking beard. It's white. And he has dogs that live there. They were bitching that he was filthy. They didn't like the way he was housekeeping. So they stopped his asylum and they let the British police come get him. So now, I mean, he has charges on him from the U.S.
Yeah.
Trump hasn't said too much about it. You know who's having a fit? You know who wants him fucking thrown in jail or wants him pretty much dead? HRC. She is having a fucking fit that Julian Assange is in custody. Because he's the motherfucker. I mean, fuck your bleached fucking emails. He read them all.
Yeah.
He might have copies of them all.
Multiple. Yeah. In safe hands.
Yeah. He already said he has shit that if he, gets...
If I get caught, I'm going to get out.
Yeah. He has his insurance policy.
Now, that's kind of just fucked up how he got picked up. He probably seeking asylum, with Russia. He goes to Ecuador on, let's say, vacation, and now you have the UN able to go over and get him. Now he was in
Ecuadorian consulate as asylum. He was there for a while.
I get that, but if the UN has fucking power to go there and take him, now the UN can give him to us.
Yeah,
with bypassing all fucking Russia.
Right. Yeah. That's what they're trying to. HRC wants him brought here. Now, for something as small, because they said the maximum you could be facing up to 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
I know moms that done let their kids walk around in the street that's facing more than that shit.
Yeah.
So you're gonna pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to go through this whole process of bringing Julian Assange, extraditing him back here. The thousands and thousands of dollars that's gonna go into this fake trial for 5 years? For maximum 5 years? Nah. If that poor man gets brought here to the U.S. and our president doesn't pardon him, he's gonna die. He's gonna end up just like everybody else who crosses HRC.
Yeah.
And it'll be he committed suicide or there was a car accident.
Yeah, just watch and see. No, he'll probably die of that. Let's get real.
Drug overdose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just blended in with the rest of them.
I don't know, man. Shit's just getting weird, man. Just getting weird.
Kind of like this music.
The kind of techno
I ain't on that level right now.
So, let's see what else we got going on here. Not too much of fucking shit. See, and everybody said this. Who was it? Walter Cronkite said this to the head of CNN, or one of their head. I think it was the head of CNN. He told him flat out. Now,
Yeah.
He's an old school
Yeah.
fucking reporter. You know, he ain't gonna pull no
No.
punches. He told him, he was like, "You guys will die without Donald Trump." And the dude was like, "No, we won't die."
The fuck
He's
are you gonna
like,
report
guys,
on?
your ratings were under. You guys, you know, your ratings have hit its highest point because of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If Donald
And
Trump
they've
does
dropped
not get
down since
reelected-
then. It's already been years
Yeah.
he's been in office, so
So now that they don't have this whole Russia shit,
yeah.
their fucking shit is plummeting again.
Well, this is what people don't realize before. When you have mass amounts of people going to like Alex Jones and Joe Rogan because they get 2 million views, 5 million views a fucking week, which is blowing CNN and Fox out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Woman claims to spot Jesus in a photo of flaming Notre Dame roof. Yeah, and somebody spotted Jesus in fucking toast too back in the day. Terrible.
And they
Terrible.
sold that shit.
You know, what,
What?
the Savior was not Jesus. If you're gonna believe in that shit, know his fucking name. It was Emmanuel. You know, like the little black kid who said, Webster, Emmanuel, Lewis. That type of Emmanuel. The fuck, man. I can't be the only person. I am not the smartest motherfucker in the world. And I am not the most motivated motherfucker unless you piss me off. I can't be the only person that knows this shit.
No. It's just...
I don't get it. You know, that's like why Beyonce would be with Jay-Z. You know, Destiny was like, "Child, what the hell? What'd you do it? What'd you got? Terrible. 11 o'clock. We're gonna wrap up early, but not this early just yet. It's some a friend of good. Like I said something about this in my pregame show or video, and this is one thing I can't even argue both sides on. I can't even fathom it. Growing up, you know, my little brother was handicapped. He was disabled. I grew up in the whole thing of the disabled kids and learned, you know, all that shit. It's a different kind of, I won't say hell, but it's a different kind of
Parenting.
upbringing and parenting. Especially I have a disabled child. A lot of us do. Ain't nothing wrong with them. You act like they're disabled, then they become that. Don't do that shit to your kid. Anyways, and throughout the years, I've dated a lot of women that were home health aides. And it didn't dawn on me until just recently, you know, when I spoke to a friend of mine. Actually, she called me on it on the video. On the fact that, you know, what was it, last year? We had the whole, people in New York were pissing and moaning over, they wanted $15 an hour to work at McDonald's.
Minimum wage.
Yeah, minimum wage. And we had a lot of other places, you know, pissing and moaning about, you know, and they're doing meaningless. I mean, I'm not saying everybody likes their burgers. You know, personally, I don't eat McDonald's, but, you know, billions and billions sold.
Fast food and that shit's not helping much.
But yet, a lot of these home health aid workers are making minimum wage or less.
Yep.
To do almost doctor type shit. They're expected to change dirty diapers. They're expected to bathe. They're expected to cook. They're expected to clean. They're expected to administer medicine. They're expected to check vitals. They're expected to, I mean, there is a shit ton of things that these, predominantly women, there are some men out there, but predominantly women do for these people. A lot of these people, they have nobody else, so they call these, caregivers and stuff on after hours. And I know plenty of women who gladly got up and took care of Miss So-and-so, or went and got Mr. His medicine or whatever, or took him to the grocery store because, their kids were too fucking lazy to come and help them out, or they just didn't have anybody. Point of this is, I've yet, and I'm sure there are some out there, but personally, I've yet to meet any home health aide, any caregiver making more than, and this is a very, very high rate, this is like top notch, than $10 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's private, out of pocket, where they can convince the homeowner to 12, 15, maybe.
Well, see, I met a lot, I know a lot of females that do that shit. And my ex is actually a home health aide worker. My daughter is too. The private duty, most of the time that is set by the family.
Yeah.
And it's generally, at least, at bare minimum, a quarter more. Now, I'm not talking about a quarter, like a quarter nickel dime. I'm talking about percentage-wise.
25% more out of pocket.
25% more than you would, get at going through a company or something like that. And the bad thing is, man, and I understand the company has to be ran, the company has to take care of their shit. They have, stuff they gotta do. But a lot of these companies, and this is just a example number, will bill out, say, my daughter gotta come take care of you. Mm-hmm. They'll bill her out to your insurance or you
60,
at
$80
like
an hour.
$60 or $80 a fucking hour.
You're paying them $8 an
but
hour.
They're giving their home health aides $8 to $10 an hour.
Now here's a kicker on that, because I've seen the worst of it between my stepmom was home health aide, and between my great grandma, my grandpa, and everything, all that shit.
You had a whole bunch of fucking shits in your favor.
Yeah. Here's a kicker on that. Wait till you have these bitches. Yeah. Wait till you have these bitches come in the house and not want to lift a fucking finger because they're getting $8 an hour.
Oh, dude.
It's like, well, I kind of don't blame you, but then again, you're not gonna sit on the fucking couch. I mean, it ain't gonna happen.
Well, and I've seen a lot of, like, my daughter has went through this.
Yeah.
There's the other aides come in and don't do dick.
Yeah, so you're coming into whatever shit show and they don't have their meds, they're all fucked up.
Yeah, and
it's a nightmare.
That's just. So I mean, that's something for you guys to think about, and I said it on my video. While you out there thinking you deserve $15 to flip burgers, how much is that, man or woman who's flipping your grandma over and getting her into bed, worth? How much is that worth? How much is it worth to the person who's taking, your handicapped sister or brother to the flea market or to the mall because you just don't have the time or you just can't do it.
Yep.
And they're changing their diapers and they're changing, their clothes and they're pretty much taking your family member in as their own, be it for an hour a day or be it for every day, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that Kelly did have a very good point. Why is somebody loading a truck or flipping a bird? Well, no, I can't even say loading a truck. Some of that shit's so strenuous.
I do that shit every fucking day.
Yeah, that's some of the, I can't even compare that. But, like, cashier, at Apple's or Giant Eagle or whatever. Now, I understand, place gets swamped. It's just like Walmart, place gets swamped. Sure, cashier.
Okay.
Why the fuck you deserve? And I'm not saying that eventually you don't, but I'm saying that why you think that you should start out at $12, $15 an hour?
Like Aldi's? Hiring right now for $12 to $15 an hour for a cashier? Yeah. But you see how those Aldi's people, like, they're usually swamped, like, their whole shift.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but still.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking what they're making.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we have a whole
Your base
class,
chart is just
your
fucked
whole,
up.
Yeah, these are the people who are taking care of your people.
Yeah.
And eventually might be taking care of you. I just honestly think that we should be thinking about their pay wages before we should be thinking about Mickey D's or Aldi's. I'm not knocking you guys, and I'm not hating. You guys make your money. But I think these people deserve a little something too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you're making fucking $12 at Aldi's, then the person who's taking care of your fucking dad or mom while you're at Aldi's should be making $15, $20 an hour.
Yeah. And that just kind of comes down to your fucking certificate bullshit. Because you're running off a certificate instead of a degree, so they want to justify it by not paying you dick.
Sometimes it ain't even that, man. It's just greed.
True enough, yeah. A lot of it is.
Because I've seen some of these companies, man, fuck over a lot of these people. I mean, they're just the shady
milk insurance and
dealings
that's it.
and this and that. You know, because I mean, growing up in the hood, and I'm not saying that necessarily it's always in the hood, but growing up in the hood, you learn from the welfare queens. You know, the girls do, and I picked up on it too. You know, you learn how to shimdiggle the system.
Yeah.
You learn how to, and it goes, I see like people who get out of the hood take that same hood mentality with them, and that's what fucks them a lot in their jobs. You know, they see, okay, well, I can start my own business, but my hood training says I could shimdiggle this or not write off this, or I could do this and that.
I can run a business and hustle out the back.
Right. I can make this money and only pay my customer or my clientele, not my clientele, my employees so much.
All right, let me ask you this. If somebody's running a business like that, do you feel that taxes are a thing? Do you think taxes should exist as the government has them now?
See, Jared and I get into this. I honestly think we do need taxes.
Okay.
I think we're getting way overly taxed.
You think just the bracket needs reset?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think everything needs to be, because honestly, especially in the eyes of AOC, and people don't realize, you know, they're talking the rich tippy top. Yeah, what's rich in the eyes of the government?
I mean,
Over $100,000.
Yeah, which is jack shit.
So your tippy top you belong to.
Yeah.
I belong to.
Uh-huh.
So after so much, now I start getting hit more and more and more. And I'm not for that. You know, I feel that if I'm getting hit and if I'm making $5 an hour and taxes are 10%, then taxes are 10%. If I'm making $100 an hour, taxes are still 10%. Because regardless, I'm still paying more than the person making $5 an hour. 5% or 10%, 10% of 100 is $10, correct?
Yeah.
All right, 10% of $5 is 50 cents.
Yeah.
I just gave you $10 to your 50 cents. How's that fair? It's not, but it's all 10%. Now, you got these people out here who want to say, well, he makes this much money, so he should pay more. So, you're only going to pay 10%, and now I got to pay 20%.
Yeah.
So now I'm putting up $20 for every 100 that I do, and you're still putting up 50 cents. What the fuck?
I'm a subcontractor. It's 20 to 25% on your taxes.
That's some bullshit.
Oh yeah.
That's why every time
You
like,
wonder
when
why
I go leave a
motherfuckers.
tip or whatever.
You wonder why they get that mentality to say, "Go fuck yourself." I'm gonna, hustle my way around my taxes or do this and that.
I totally
It comes
agree.
down to, yeah, everything should be in place. You should have a better scale, but people just aren't gonna take it. Step off a little bit. Stop pressing the fucking poor people.
And ultimately, I mean, the IRS is such a fucking joke.
That's what I mean.
That unless you are you make a name for yourself, unless you make a stink, they're not going to do their job. They're not gonna do their job unless if you have some kind of like, say, what's the one that they always make the movies about? The RICO Act. All right, so say you're a drug dealer or something, or an arms dealer or something like that, but they got nothing on you. What do? They look at your taxes. What are they doing to Trump? They got nothing on Trump, so what are they doing? I want to see your taxes. Bitch, I want to see fucking Pelosi's taxes and Schumer's taxes and all their taxes. You fuckers became millionaires while you were in Congress. Trump was a millionaire before Congress.
Yeah.
How'd you do it, motherfucker? We know how he made his money. Dirty dealings and straight business shit. We know that. We knew that in the beginning.
Yeah.
What y'all do? You know, whose cock you suck to fucking get that milk? Because you know Pelosi's fucking old leather-faced fucking turkey-necked ass done had plenty of cock down that throat in her fucking whole time. How the fuck you think she end up as Speaker of the House? And I honestly feel that the only reason why AOC is there is she got somebody's cock in her mouth. And it sure as fuck ain't her gay-looking boyfriend that popped up on Instagram or the one that was laundering the money. Honey Boo Boo's transformation. She's not a fat fucking little thing, a TV star anymore.
Yay, Adderall.
That's fucked up.
That's the truth.
That is fucked. You know, you might have a point there. And I'm gonna go into this little personal bit about my life, and then
all right,
we're gonna end this shit up. Cause it's been another fucking half hour. I want a cigarette, and it's 11:30, so fuck it. My niece, Ashley, if you're listening, I'm sorry. My niece, when she was little, was fat as fuck, dude. Now we know we got the pudgy little babies. And, like, I don't even... This girl had to have fucked her mama's pussy up. I'm not even gonna lie. When she popped out the cooter, she was huge and just got... Like, here's an example, dude. And now, mind you, I was a teenage stoner. And I used to like my mom used to have a register. Well, she still does. I mean, there's a register in my mom's living room. Old school register.
Yeah.
And just as kids, as adults, we used to lay down, put our feet on the register, watch TV. This little heifer used to, and dude, to this day, I still think she did it on purpose. I know. But she would wait until her fucking diaper was full. And she would walk over to me, stagger, wobble, whatever the fuck them little things do. First, she would bend over and look at my face, whether I was sleeping or not. And she would let this line of drool fall off of her lip. Get right there at my fucking face and suck that shit right back up. Eventually, after the third or fourth, and then you're kind of stunned because you're like, oh,
I can't
fuck,
move.
If I move, this fuck shit's going to be all over me. So after the third or fourth time, you end up with that shit on your face.
Yeah.
But then, as you're going, you see this little fat bitch's face, or not face, diaper, coming for your face. And she used to fucking, what was that, Yokozuna me. Dude, never failed. Every time I fucking fell asleep, my brother Joe would bring that little girl over to the house. Boom. And this went on for a couple years. That little bitch got fat and fat and fat. And then all of a sudden, we didn't see Ashley for like a month or two. And where's Ashley at? Oh, she had to go testing and she's going to the doctor, this and that. So when Ashley started coming back around, and this went... Dude, I mean, I've never seen somebody lose weight this quick. They gave her some kind of medicine.
Ritalin.
And within a year, she was about 3 or 4 at the time. I mean, she looked like she was like 10.
Yeah.
She was down to, and actually, right now she looks kind of Ethiopian.
Well, I mean, at that young age, you shock your system. Like you're straight changing your metabolism.
So it might be some. I mean, I don't know exactly what drug they gave her.
That's all they give children.
And they try to say
well, that's what they give everybody.
They try to say that it was. Well, the reason why I'm kind of leaning towards your Adderall Ritalin theory is because my mom told me that she was having problems at daycare or something, or focusing on
attention deficit disorder. So we're gonna give you Adderall.
That was way before ADD.
Yeah.
That was, I honestly feel ADD is just lack of an ass whooping.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I think there might be some validity to that shit.
Yeah. It's speed.
Well, yeah.
It is.
Wasn't there a study done that said Adderall is the same shit as meth?
Okay, but since you brought that up, Hamilton Morris made the same comment. Meth is one molecule different than Adderall, so it's
a molecule is a big fucking difference. Though.
Not really. Not when you're talking on like a drug structure. It really isn't. That's where you get research chemicals and everything else.
Well, you're designer drugs.
But you're just adding a carbon atom, one molecule or whatever.
Yeah, but you add one molecule of oxygen into your vein and you die.
Yeah.
A molecule is
true enough, but on,
I see what you're saying,
yeah.
Though, because in the designer drug thing,
well, it's not even designer, it's
when they were doing that whole fake weed thing,
yeah.
And they banned the first chemical that they were using, so they took that chemical and they
made 500 more, yeah.
They took a fucking molecule and took it off of this branch and put it on this branch. And then boom, now you can't say that was illegal, but this isn't illegal.
But now they have that drug act where all research or analogs are illegal, and this is a kicker now. Now, like I said earlier, it's restricting the actual medical research because it's just straight classified as an illegal substance. Class 1.
They're doing it, and that's how they're getting the fucking people with the CBD shit.
Yeah.
This whole legalization of the marijuana thing is a big joke, people.
Yeah, we have legal weed, and now CBD is illegal in Ohio. Yeah. What the fuck?
The whole point. I mean, I'm a pothead, and I'll always be a pothead, whether it's legal or not. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
Most potheads, when they say they want it to leave, especially the older ones who've been through it, want the marijuana to be legal for its medicinal purposes. And
I don't feel it's like that. I feel they want it legal because of the legality, so they don't have to worry about going to jail or a fucking joint.
See, that's I think comes second.
Okay.
But I mean, honestly, I don't know. I look at it from, again, the more disabled people type
deal.
No
doubt. Yeah.
I honestly, I could care less. I was going to get my weed wherever I wanted my weed, regardless. So this whole law really don't do dick to me. But what it is doing, though, is all the research that I've done where the benefits of CBD would help my son, would help my little brother, would help a lot of people that I know with their children or their dads or their, now all of a sudden this sham of legalizing marijuana is just that, because you're allowed to get high now, which is pretty much dumbing down the masses even more, but you're not allowed to get help. Again, it's just like the whole Suboxone thing we were talking about earlier. Suboxone is just the government's way of saying, hey, you're not going to go to that dealer anymore. You're going to come to us. That's pretty much it. We're going to, you're going to come and get our shit from us, and you're going to pay what we make you pay for it.
Yeah.
And you're going to go about your happy little fucking way. And if you don't, you're going to die, and maybe a cop will hit you with a Narcan.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pay for that, and then you're going to be forced to go into a rehab where you're going to be forced to take... Right.
If they can't make their money by bringing in fentanyl, which we have to all, I think, mutually agree that's probably part of the government, or...
See, I think that shit was in what the Asians did. I think that really had... Our government had a little to do with that, but I think it got way blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
I think the fentanyl started rushing in when they started letting the meth fucking flow through the other side. Because, like I said, Donald Trump got a hard-on for the opioids. He's done in the litter box. Any opioids or anything heavy like that is going to have to come in, and it's going to be, that shit's going to stop. But the fentanyl's not.
No, that's just
because
made in the fucking lab.
The Asians are bringing it in, and the Asians are fucking doing it in the guise of bringing over their iPads, their iPhones, their this and their that's. Why do you think we have such a huge issue with the whole Chinese thing that nobody's giving a fuck about? Their intellectual property stealing. They have a whole, there's dudes down there fucking videoing it. They have a whole downtown, like it's almost like a flea market where, say I want a tablet. So I'm going to take that 10-inch screen or whatever inch screen shell, and I'm going to get, that's an HD, an LG HD, that's a Samsung.
Like, I understand this is before my time, but especially your guys' time in, like, the 80s and shit where stereo speakers, like, how many fucking kilos of hash can you shove in that bitch?
Oh, no doubt.
And guess what? Now, back in the 80s when that there was $1,200, no motherfucker's going to open that up. That's why there's mass amounts of opium and hash and shit that came in.
But I agree.
But it's no different now. You could...
But see, now it's more... It's coming in through the pharmaceutical companies, dude.
Yeah. So you have mass legality that's being fucked up.
This is coming in more of, okay, the Chinese have a shipment of Viagra, but it's fake Viagra.
Yeah.
What is that Viagra?
We don't know.
Well, we got 40 fucking kilos of these little pills. Then all of a sudden, certain people who know what the fuck they are crushing up. Oh, there's fentanyl all over the weed, and there's fentanyl all over the heroin. There's fentanyl in the That's the one thing I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anybody say they put fentanyl in cocaine. Cocaine became a retro drug.
Yeah, they started doing that about a year ago.
Dude, I've heard more about them
Facebook
talking about
and
fentanyl in weed and fentanyl in heroin than I've ever heard. I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably fucking lace aspirin with fentanyl. Fuck. I don't know. That just you're doing too much.
This is what it comes down to. It's just, once again, controlling the mass population. Let's just try to kill everybody as quick as we can.
But see,
fuck their health insurance.
This is my point of that whole thing, though. If you're gonna, obviously, it's, at least from what we're being told, fentanyl, as much as just touching it, may kill you.
Yeah.
So, that's some dangerous shit.
Right.
Heroin, this is the way I grew up, the drug tree, the way it went.
Yeah.
You had your coffee and your cigarettes, which weren't considered drugs. They were the same thing as pop. Then you had your weed, which was like cigarettes. Then you had your coke, which was a drug. It was kind of a party drug. Then you had your crack, and that went downhill with people. Then you had your heroin, and the heroin people sold their babies. So,
yeah,
now there's all kind of other levels to that. Now the motherfuckers got mollies and whatever the fuck. They're mixing Robitussin with heroin. Wait a minute, you have heroin. You will potentially sell your fucking baby and your soul for that shit.
Yeah.
Let me add a little. This heroin ain't good enough. Let me add a little something. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
That's just. And here, we'll lighten it up. I'll take it back to my end of the whole spectrum of it. These people who have these, I forget what the fuck the name of the joints are, but they take some good weed, and then they roll it in an organic weed paper. Then they dip it all in weed oil. And then they roll the weed in keef, which is more weed. And then they put some other weed, whatever, on there.
It's a moon rock joint.
Yeah.
They're $50.
Wait a minute.
They're
Wait.
nice.
Yeah. No, they're not. There's a fucking waste. That's what the fuck it is. I would rather have all that shit separate. Let me smoke my good weed in that paper. Let me hit that oil in the dab after my buzz 2-3 hours later from that joint that in that paper. I hit my dabs. After that, I'll throw my keef an hour or two later in my bowl, and I smoke my keef, and then whatever the little moon rock, whatever the fucks, I'll smoke. I just made a whole day of that shit. Or I could be really, really high for about an hour and a half or 2 hours on some good tasting shit that, hey, look what I got. I just smoked something that looked like it fell on the fucking carpet. No. Ain't no fucking way.
That's not how this works.
Well, there's a hell of a market for it.
Yeah, there is.
No, I mean, I've smoked one, I know, and I'm like, this is a fucking waste.
I mean, I don't know.
Everybody has their own opinion. They're like assholes.
Yeah, but just think about it. Would you have, let's see, it was like four, there's four? Yeah. I mean, they're all marijuana, but they're all drugs. They're all different drugs. And there's whatever. There's some colorful stuff that gets put on there. I mean, it's all weed, but
it's pretty.
Sprinkles.
So there's 4 different types of weed there.
Yeah.
Now, you spent 50, I could have got it for 40, but $50 on this joint.
Uh-huh.
Or you can spend, and that's going to last you 2 hours. That's just not economically sound.
Okay, is it economic for $20 a gram for one blunt?
Depends on how good the weed is.
$20 a gram is $20 a gram.
No, it's not.
Yeah, kind of. We're not bringing in the questionable quality. Let's just assume it's all good weed. All right.
No. That's got to be some fucking killer shit. Because I'm sure if you got it or anybody else got it for $20 a fucking blunt, I could definitely find it for 10.
We're not getting into that. We're saying,
that's the way my mentality. I mean, that's what I said. Like weed is like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Coke was a party thing. Crack, you're gonna end up fucking doing housework for a pork chop.
So these high grade joints are what? Just another class in themselves? You're saying?
No, the high grade joints is just like the regular weed.
Yeah.
And you're paying way too much for it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Like, even back in the day when there was real hydro around.
Yeah, I know.
And it was fucking $20, $30 a gram, depending on what you had. The really, really good Widow was, man.
Yeah, I know.
Or
see, back then,
the little fucking dinosaur, they look like dinosaur eggs of the perp.
Yeah.
That was some real deal shit.
But still.
That now.
It's $10 a G.
It was a half of an eighth was $20.
Yeah.
So you at least got a gram and a half out of it.
Yeah. True enough, but
and even back then I was like, now, and this is another issue. If you want to talk, like this is where our upbringing came up different in our different styles of my former life of being that person, and your former life. Mine was. Again, the weed was like cigarettes. I keep saying that, but it just was that point. You don't pay. It was more of a quantity over quality type deal.
But when you get quality and quantity,
I personally, just because I was that type of dickhead, I'd like to have the finest there was. If I went broke, I went broke.
Yeah, but
I
good.
still wasn't gonna get. I was going to get what I was going to get.
Yeah.
If I got a quarter of some commercial for $25, then I'm not going to pay no more than $40 for a quarter of some kill.
Right.
And that, you just got to know how to negotiate and talk to people.
Yeah.
And then that's where other things from life kind of blended into each other. People
what else
need
you
other
got?
things. Yeah. People need other things.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I just, especially nowadays, or the whole blunt thing is what I was trying to get at. Back in the day, people used to say, "Oh, sell me a blunt for this and that."
Uh-huh.
Well, when I was growing up, before the whole blow up of the chronic,
Yeah.
Dr. Dre and all that shit, a blunt was 2 joints.
Or one blunt.
Right.
Yeah.
2 joints or 1 blunt. Motherfuckers would look at your bag and be like, what is this?
Yeah.
And that was only $5.
Right.
So nowadays, I mean, depending on what circles you run, you know, we run normal size L's. I know circles that run, you might as well just be smoking that fucking tobacco.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends on the size of blunt. If it's one of my size blunts, yeah, I'd probably pay $20 for it. I'd take it back because, you know, mine's ground fine, and for it to be the size that it is, there's a bunch of weed in mine. And we that's the way we roll. So, but now if it's one of these dudes that, you know, the chunky blunt, you didn't break it down and it still looks like, you know, twig you picked up off the ground. Dude, you're giving me lung cancer. That's like third-hand fucking smoke.
That's just the Monsanto they're putting in all the medical.
There you go.
They got in trouble for it.
I didn't really want to fucking put that name out there, but I think that's the whole reason why we have these kids shooting up the schools. They're the main reason. Monsanto is the main chemical manufacturer that fucks with food.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
That goes back into like the Vietnam days with the fucking gooks tainting the weed, and our government was spraying Agent Orange on weed in Mexico in the fucking 60s and 70s.
No, I think you got 2 stories.
No. There are stories of, you know, the suspected stories of the gooks tainting the weed in Vietnam.
See, what I got was, and this is because my kid's grandfather actually got a settlement from it.
Yes.
And I know other people who actually they think the Agent Orange might have attributed to his cancer.
Okay.
But he didn't have the effects
until later.
Yeah, till later.
I have a couple buddies that he went in for shoulder surgery and had a blood cancer, bone cancer, and leukemia.
We'll see.
And
I have another buddy of mine, Chris.
Yeah.
He is he's a stepdad of a friend of mine. His father was in Nam.
Yeah.
And dude, not only is his skin like it looks like some biblical fucking scary looking shit, but he passed that Agent Orange to his kids.
Yes.
And Chris was all fucked up, and his brother was all fucked up. I mean, cool people, but I mean, just you knew, hey, like, man, nigga, you ain't right. So, but the Agent Orange got dumped in our food back then in Vietnam by us.
Yes.
We dumped it on the rice paddies.
Yes.
But nobody realized at that point in time, a good 90% of the world's rice came from those same fucking rice paddies.
Right.
So after there was some kind of study or something done, and we stopped getting rice from there, and we started getting now. The biggest producer of rice is the litter box.
Yeah.
In the same fucking place that we've been bombing. So, and I learned this from my vet, dude.
Yeah.
My fucking vet. The rice that we consume is the same rice that's in the dog food.
Right.
You know, right. Is so full of arsenic that if you were to take a bag of fucking rice and grind it up, you have a biological weapon.
You can extract it. There's enough.
Right. Yeah. It's like getting cyanide from apples.
Yep.
But you need a shit ton of apples.
Yeah.
At this point, the way the rice goes, a bag of rice.
Yeah.
Now I don't think the Goya ones are coming from, you know, those are the Hispanics, you know, they always had their own rice. But as far as every other bit of rice, I mean, we are getting, I mean, just in that alone, that has nothing to do with Monsanto. We are getting poisoned like crazy. I mean, now, I understand we could build an immunity to it, but you figure you're getting arsenic. Man, just the shit in some of the water. I mean, like, I used to work for the water department, and I knew people who were affected by the water who actually had independent labs test shit. just shit in the water that they claim is to clean or purify your water.
It's heavy metals and poison, neurotoxins.
It's neurotoxins.
Yeah.
I haven't.
Mercury,
I didn't
lead.
I haven't seen any. Well, at least on my end.
Oh yeah, I got you. Look.
What I seen was there's something in. I forget what it is. It's not a metal though.
Fluoride.
Oh, there's fluoride that
Yeah.
pumps in there. That's
Yeah, that's a
actually
neurotoxin.
fluoride comes in as a powder. And there's the chlorine.
Uh-huh.
We drink chlorine
Yeah.
like a motherfucker. Like deadly, uncut chlorine. Because my cousin, one of the fucking hoses broke, and they had to drag her out of the room. It like instantly
Burn. Yeah.
oh, dude, it's fucked up. There's something, and this fucked me up, because you could take nasty, shitty, like you could take water out your toilet that you just shit in,
Yeah.
and drop these drops into that water.
You're good to go.
No, you're not.
No.
It's not good. They may tell you it's good to go. It takes the smell out of it.
Yeah.
It totally takes the smell. I don't know how it does it, but it takes the smell out of it. That's it. So they do that. So if they fuck up by any chance, or if the water isn't clean, or if there's something, you always have, your taste is mostly your smell.
Yeah.
So if you don't smell nothing especially in your water, you don't taste anything.
But when you can smell the chlorine in your fucking tap water.
Well, that's another thing. Now, the lady that I knew, who she actually got me into the whole watching of the water and shit when I was a kid. She was a pharmacist, and she like moved to Camel or whatever. I don't know if she was a Camel pharmacist for a while, but anyways, as she got older, she noticed that she was getting these red, almost like sores on her, and she couldn't understand why. And this was like back in the mid '90s or whatever, so she thought she had skin cancer. And that. She's getting tested, and nothing's coming up. And she was getting it every time she went and took a bath. You know, she was old school with the
soaking in
tub bath.
water. Yeah.
So, and her name was Miss Lisco. She passed away a while ago. She decided that she was gonna, she changed everything in her environment around her. I mean, she knew her medical shit. She looked into the medicine. She decided that it was the water that was fucking with her. So she went and she took a pan. She told me to do this every so often to see if the shit went back. She took a pan and she filled it, or not, pan, whatever the fuck you want to call it. She filled it almost 3/4 of the way up. She put it on a low simmer, low heat or whatever, let it boil all the way down. Once it got down to where it was almost to the bottom,
Scrape the bottom, huh?
she filled it back up. She did it, I think if I recall right, between 5 and maybe 10. I'll give it to 10 at the most.
All right.
But it might have been the lower number. But anyways, then she took the different colorful rings of whatever the fuck that was in that water. She left it there, but she took it to the lab. I forget. She told me all the fuck shit. I mean, I was a kid when she told me this.
Yeah.
But she took it to the lab, and the lab people told her that the burns on her arms were from formaldehyde. So I'm assuming, and I could be wrong. But formaldehyde is used for what? Preserving dead bodies and taking the stink off.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that isn't still the same what they're taking the smell out of water with.
Could be.
There's formaldehyde in it. There is psyllium, some shit that and this was back in the day. Who knows if that shit's still now? But psyllium is they put it in cereals and shit so it doesn't like rot on with the shelves forever. Like there's certain like Frosted Flakes and shit, like the cheap shit that always looks shiny and always looks good, but it's like 5 years old. Yeah. And like these just different weird chemicals. I'm like, well, what the fuck? You know, you would think, like you said, oh, there might be some lead or some rust or some kind of heavy metal because of the pipelines or whatever.
But I mean, well, that's just on that aspect, and then you get into like the fluoride, just straight.
Well, no, the fluoride. That's a law. They had to put fluoride in that shit. That's the way. You know, that's the law. Now, when a little bit later on in life, I was doing some work for this lady out in Poland.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a pharmacist also, but she was from France. Her husband, they met in the war. She came over, and she already knew she had a metal allergy. She knew that, you know, that just from a kid or whatever. She figured that coming here, the environment would be a little less stressful. All that. Don't need to know a backstory. Anyways, she was starting to get sick and couldn't understand why. And she was getting, I think the whole reason why we got into conversations is when I had all my piercings and she was telling me that shit's bad. Yeah. Your body leaches off it no matter what they say the metal is. But she said that in her research that she was getting sicker and sicker, that she found out that this whole, like she told me exactly the area. It's down by the freeway, down where the old churches and shit were, 680 going towards St. Nees and all that. Yeah. But down there and towards downtown and Girard Way and all that shit, back in one of these wars, their chemical waste, their whatever waste from producing, I'm assuming some kind of weaponry or whatever, was mercury.
Makes sense.
And they just put them in these cheap old fucking metal barrels and buried them. Which, you know, goes back to a lot of the whole fucking vaults and shit that they found in Camel where streets sunk in and shit way back in the day. But it also attributes to when I was growing up, my brother was one of like maybe 3 autistic kids from Camel to Warren. Yeah. You know, he went to a disabled kid's school. There was no other autistic kids there. Now, there are so many fucking autistic kids that they had to change the name and they gave them a fucking rainbow.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta, I mean, I hate to say it, and the one thing that is medically proven that is a big factor in autism is mercury. And so, I mean, you know, that's not good. Not good. And
no,
it's in the
bad,
water.
okay.
It's all in the water, and there's no filtering of mercury. There's no filtering of... And I honestly think, I mean, if you want to go into the whole weirdnesses, that my more open-mindedness and my more kind of, in general, attuneness, awakeness, if you want to call it, has a lot to do with, I barely drink any fucking water, especially city water. I mean, I drink what's in the beverages or whatever, but that, if you, for lack of anything better you want to call it, it's cut.
Pretty much.
So, and I honestly think, you know, if that shit about the pineal gland and all that shit is true, then mine's still calcified, but it ain't as calcified as everybody else's, and I think that's why I go through a lot of shit that I go through, if you want to go that route with it.
No, but that kind of just backs up everything. I mean, we know fluoride starts calcifying shit. Like, and for people to start not seeing through the ether as much, not being able to access the third eye, it just...
Yeah, well, I do
like some
recall...
slow-ass evolution.
Wow, we were supposed to end this a half hour ago, damn. Yeah. Well, I recall, I can't remember the name of the movie, but now that I'm older, now that I look into all this, I understand the movie now. But there was a movie that this guy figured out how to tap into his third eye. And by doing that, it just made all kind of bad shit. Oh, I can't even say bad shit happened. He was able to see everything that was around him that we don't see.
Right.
And then that thing started taking control, and it popped out his head and started moving around like kind of like a tentacle
Now,
type thing. But that part is the sci-fi part. My point is, okay, what if we are able to see more shit with our third eye being decalcified? Mm-hmm. Do you really want to see that? That's like knowing that you could, like, there was a movie called The Ninth Gate. Mm-hmm. All right, people were seeking to find the ninth gate of hell. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, you're in front of the ninth gate of hell. Do you really want to know what's on the other side of that?
Man, this is where you get into all my nightmarish trips where I've been at that fucking gate and really almost wanting to do anything to make it stop. At that moment, no. Afterwards, when you come back, it's like, well, holy fucking shit, that actually exists.
Yeah, but, and this I think is kind of the premise of Hellraiser. Uh-huh. You got your box.
Yeah.
Hell, I mean, I notice a lot of the people in the movies, the Hellraiser movies, kind of think like us. You know, they're like, hell just gotta be just like this shit, you know. Everything that we like that is supposedly a sin is there. Yeah, it's there way to the extreme.
Yeah.
If you want to believe in that. But people want to see that. All right, well, hell's going to be better than this and that. No, you know what? Hell, if that exists and I'm meant to go there, I'll see it when I get there. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Just like heaven. I am in no rush. If Lord, yeah, that ain't happening. But even if I, by some chance, squeaked in, you know, somebody gave me a get out of jail free card or some shit.
Well, see, this is where you get into, all right.
I don't really want to see it.
If you were able to decalcify your pineal gland and just see through the ether all the time, it'd be like smoking DMT all the fucking time, around the clock. To where now you're going to be locked up and put in the fucking medical ward, sane asylum, and be labeled as schizophrenic.
I'm schizophrenic.
I get that, me too.
You know,
but you know,
the bad thing is certain drugs will kick in that shit.
I know, yeah.
And that's not cool.
Yeah.
That's not cool. I mean, it's because, well, that the schizophrenia thing, man, that's a whole nother fucking
right.
Thing. But I just, again, like I was saying earlier to you, if a drug makes you see something or hallucinate, okay, it's playing with your...
True enough, yeah.
Now, if a drug makes you hallucinate while you are asleep, while you are already in some shit that you should be able to... Something else might be in control of that. And you know as well as I do, I don't really believe in all that, but still, I mean, they might have found, just like they found a way to spray a chemical and make you erase your God. You know, what if there's chemicals? I mean, if we want to explore all aspects of everything, you know, what if there's chemicals that make you find your shit or whatever, or make, just like you said, the Ambien fixes so much different shit.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. We'll have to look it up. It's like stupid outstanding what all it fixes. But and it's not pushed for that.
Right. They will never, and they never will do
when
it.
You can take Ambien, like I was telling Greg Marco this, you can take Ambien, give them to like a paraplegic. As long as Ambien's in their system working, they have function of their arms and legs. Fucking Ambien.
I'm gonna have to look into that because I might have to experiment with that because I know somebody who can't walk or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll toss him a fucking Ambien.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Yeah, so I mean, who knows? So I guess that's something for the next show.
Yep.
Ladies and gents. Well, damn, that made it right on the motherfucking nose.
Yep.
Yeah, check out our page, see what other shows is coming on. We know for sure Scotty got one coming. And yeah, we out.
Peace.
Night.